we're going to be taking a look at something that I've seen some people discussing, which is just what are the possibilities that Fern is actually a dark unit, meaning she's an ML5, and what are the implications that this would have on the collab banner. So first, let's take a look at why people might assume that this is the case, and then we'll talk about what that might mean for the collab itself. In the trailer, when you go to when the characters, I'm gonna make sure the volume's low enough. We can watch this here real quick too. When the characters show up here, they have little colors with their name. So Fern has green, Fern here is purple, and then Stark is red. Now, yes, this is 3 of the elements, more or less, fire, dark, and earth, but this also matches, I believe, to be the color of their eyes. Stark orange eyes. I say eyes specifically, which you'll see in a little bit. Fern, purple, purple, and then Fern, her eyes are green, and then this is green. So it could be that it's matching their eyes. It could also be that it's kind of like teasing their element to us. And there's some precedent for this. If you go back to the Origin PV, where they revealed a bunch of units here. First up was Guard Captain Crow, and you can see he's got this little orange glow at the bottom left here. Yes, he has a little fire thing, but it's not part of the fire. You'll see it later. But he's got a little orange glow here, and he was a fire unit. Next up, they revealed Victorica, and Victorica has the same orange glow at the bottom, this time on the right of her preview, and she was also a fire unit. Next up, there's Renok, and you can see a very clear green glow here, and she was an Earth unit. Lastly, there was one more unit revealed here, which was Genesis Ross. And when you go to Genesis Ross's page here, white glow. Oops. He's got a white glow here, as he was a light unit. So in the Origin PV, there was something on their page, a color-related thing, that sort of teased what their element was going to be, but this isn't necessarily always the case. If you go to the Origin epilogue instead, you can take a look at Arunka here. This one, it's all pink. This is definitely just matching her overall like design and theme. She's got pink hair. She's got all these like sakura blossoms falling and stuff. They also revealed Dark Surin here. Well, Emma Aria didn't get like a little like page with her name or anything, but they revealed Dark Surin, where yes, it's Dark Surin, so she has like purple as her element, but also she has purple like in her hair, in her overall design. So this could be either one, but given that Arunka was definitely referencing her design more than her element, I would say that Surin is also referencing her design, especially when you look at the next unit, which is Robin, because Robin has, if I can actually find her page here. Here, Robin has no red anywhere here. This is all just blue in her background because she's got like blue inner coat, blue tie, blue everything. The only red on her is the bottom part of her sunglasses, and she's a fire unit. So in the entire Origin epilogue, and this is both from Origin, Crow, Victorica, Renok, Genesis Ross were all shown in the Origin PV, and then Robin, Arunka, Surin were shown in the epilogue. In the epilogue, the colors refer to their color schemes, while in the PV, the colors refer to their element. So you can't necessarily say that it's going to be one way or the other. It's 50-50. We can also, because they released Setsuga already, we can take a look at Setsuga's reveal here. This didn't really have like anything, because when you go to RNL2, like these colors, this is like a yellow/orange. I don't think these are gonna be like dark units, maybe, because this had like kind of a red thing going on, but I don't think this is really any conclusive, especially since the rest of the epilogue didn't have anything. So it's definitely hard to say whether or not this purple here actually indicates her being a dark unit. Now, what if she was a dark unit? What would that mean for the collab itself? That's got some interesting things, just because everybody's expecting Stark to be free. Sorry, bud, but you're the male here. Fern is definitely going to be one of the non-free units, and everyone's expecting Fern just because Fern's overall more popular. But if Fern is a dark unit, to me, I don't see any reason why they couldn't just put her on banner. It's been a thing for, I've been saying this for years. Honestly, people like have always assumed that the collab units have to be RGBs, but it's a collab. They could put a dark unit on the Covenant banner. It doesn't have to be Mystics. Just put it on Covenant. They make the rules. They don't have to follow any sort of set of rules. If they just put Fern on the Covenant banner, we summon for her, same 120 pity with our Covenant bookmarks as a dark unit, that would be fine. Especially because dark units, or not just dark units, but their elements will affect their usage. Like, I'm personally expecting Fern to be some sort of DPS. And if you're a new element neutral DPS and you don't have elemental disadvantage, that does make them a little bit better. So it would depend on if they want to have that sort of thing affect her like kit. They definitely don't really care about color schemes that much because besides Robin, with her whole blue thing going on, we have the reverse, where Teo is a red guy that has ice as his element. Kind of, he's the reverse of Robin. So they're definitely not like strangers to making the color designs not match their elements. We can also take a look at the previous collab units. So if we just go here and collab, these are all of the previous collab units. In terms of males being the rate up over the females, we've had Ed and Roy, though that was 100% expected. You have Ed, Roy, Riza. Riza's going to be the free unit. And then Rimuru, Benimaru, Milim were the 3 rate ups, with Benimaru coming on the rerun and Shuna as the free one. This is also pretty expected just because Rimuru is the main character of the series. And Shuna's like a pretty major side character, but I would say she's a side character. Benimaru is also a side character, but he had his like whole movie thing, I think, when we reran the Slime banner, so it's not too surprising that he was the rate up choice. They skipped over Shion for this. And then there is Overlord, where they had Ainz as the free unit, even though he's the main character. Though this might have just been a thing where it's like partially because Albedo and Shaltir are pretty popular, and also because he's just the skeleton guy. Maybe they didn't want him to be the rate up. But Ainz is also the one time we've had a ML unit, also dark, as a collab unit, though I still think that there's no reason they can't just have a dark unit on the Covenant banner. They can make their own rules. In terms of color scheme stuff, I mean, some of them match, like red, 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 fire, red, red. And some of them, like, don't, because Ram is, like... Ram looks like she's pink, though she is throwing, like, wind magic around her or whatever in her animations. Vikin has nothing that really indicates that she would be Earth, but then some of these guys are blue. So they aren't necessarily, like, 100% going to stick to color schemes, especially just because it's, like, they aren't the ones designing the characters for the collabs, so it's a bit harder to work around color stuff for them, I think. But really, that's just it. I just want to take a look at, like, what in the past, if they've ever indicated elements via the previews, and just what the odds of Fern being an ML unit is. I think it would be nice, like, last time we had a collab, they broke the trend of having no ML units by giving us Ainz. Maybe they'll decide to put a ML unit on the Covenant banner this time.